What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bose. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only, it is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Tuesday.
Yep, we're going and going. The news doesn't stop, and well, neither do I. I've been playing so much San Andreas. I can't.
What the?
Oh.
Are you shocked that you're
I look
playing
at the
that?
stats. Not exactly, because I've played this one more than 5 in the last couple of years, but I go through the stats after playing, 6 hours, and it's gone up 2%. Oh, I'm going to be here for a while.
Absolutely. You do know there are new games to play too, right?
I think it's more of a distraction from that.
I hear
For some reason.
Nostalgia, dude. Sometimes that's nostalgia is all you need, right? You want to go back and take that trip down memory lane.
Dishonored's next.
Oh, dude, what a fantastic game. I love it. It's techno new. Oh, really? Oh, technically new. This is Brad over at twitch.tv/theofficial_ITG is joining us live just like you can. You can also join us live over on YouTube at Inside the Game Official. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, we got something in the works that I'm pretty excited about, but we'll have more on that hopefully tomorrow when I'll be able to share a little bit more in the details of what's happening there. So make sure you stick around. Dude, coming up on today's show, Sony adds to their first party studios by adding none other than Halo creators, Bungie. Here we go, Scott. Like that right there. This could be the whole show, but it's not, because we also have Star Wars Eclipse is pulling inspiration from The Last of Us, dude. What?
that gets me excited, but we'll get into that.
Absolutely. And YouTube content creator gets hit with 1,300 Nintendo copyright claims. Oh, that is not cool, man. That is that's a Nintendo. Man,
how long do you think it takes them to put together that many?
It's probably some bot that kind of sweeps in and just goes claim that's all your Nintendo content. We'll take it all back, thank you. Dude, this
might be the first use of the American artillery postage system. I just learned about that myself. That is real, by the way.
Let's move into the world of Bungie as Bungie joins Sony Interactive Entertainment. This comes from their blog. Quote, we believe games have limitless potential and that to do anything worthwhile in entertainment, we must bet big on our vision, on our studio, and on our incredible team of trusted creators who build unforgettable worlds that truly matter to people. In SIE, we have found a partner who unconditionally supports us in all we are and who wants to accelerate our vision to create generation-spanning entertainment, all while preserving the creative independence that beats in Bungie's heart. Like us, SIE believes that game worlds are only the beginning of what our IPs can become. Together, we can share a dream of creating and fostering iconic franchises that unite friends around the world, families across generations, and fans across multiple platforms and entertainment mediums. Scott, did you catch that right there? Across multiple platforms. Dude, what's the first thing you thought of yesterday as we found this big news came out of Sony at the, we just wrapped up the show. So, of course, we completely missed it yesterday. I was like, man, this drops. So, like, okay, tomorrow's show for sure. What were your thoughts when Bungie revealed and Sony revealed that they are now one company, buddy?
Well, I initially thought for the sake of our own Nate, I thought, well, what does this mean for Destiny? Because that's the main flagship, I think, out of Bungie now. So I thought, is there going to be, Destiny 3 behind walls now for him? Is this going to be a change of ecosystem? Because know he'll go wherever it goes. But I thought, oh no! And then is this a response? There's something about it that seems to be symbolic, and I don't know if that was just a happy accident because these are the origins of the Chief. The Master Chief, the Halo series is now in the hands of 343.
Yeah.
And it's owned, I believe, doubly by Microsoft Xbox anyways. So that's not going anywhere. You likely cannot take Halo off of the platform. But this, I feel like it was kind of a happy accident of, hey, we can still fire back.
Well, you know what it is? So a deal like this isn't done in a matter of a couple of weeks, right? Like this has been ongoing discussions probably for the last 6 months to even a year. This isn't done just by a snap of the finger. Go, hey, we'll buy you. So Sony bought Bungie for $3.6 billion. Dude, that's a ton of cash. You don't just go, hey, want to come over here? Right? Like that's not how that works. I think what happened is Microsoft beat them to the punch on timing. This is just a coincidence of 2 weeks after that event, you then reveal that Sony purchased Bungie. I wonder if they were looking to announce that sooner, but Xbox had revealed that they purchased Activision, which was not that I'm knocking Bungie, but dude, that's a way bigger acquisition, right? Because $68.7 billion versus 3.6 gets them one studio. Activision comes with multiple studios, right? That's why you see such a grander distance between the money involved. 68 versus 3. There's a huge leap, but again, coming from Bungie, dude, that's a massive studio to pull in, and they say they're going to keep it multi-platform. Biggest question for me, Scott, as we've seen with the purchase of Bethesda, you're not going to get Skyrim multi-platform. Will you get the next Bungie title multi-platform, or will it only be found on PlayStation now?
Yeah, it really makes you wonder. I think in the terms of Destiny, they may stick with the third one being multi-gen just because they already have that giant fan base. It would not do a service to cut them out in this ongoing series. But like you said, well, if you look at the other side of the coin, the next Elder Scrolls is not going to be cross-plat. So
exactly.
Do you think this still inspires a little bit more of a reaction from Sony? Whether this is a reaction or not is kind of one topic, but are they still feeling the burn to kind of respond, fire a shot over the bow?
No, absolutely. We've got a quote over here from gamesindustry.biz where it says, we've had a strong partnership with Bungie since the inception of the Destiny franchise, and I couldn't be more thrilled to officially welcome the studio to the PlayStation family. This comes from Jim Ryan, or he's the CEO and president of Sony Interactive Entertainment. This is an important step for our strategy to expand the reach of PlayStation to a much wider audience. We understand how vital Bungie's community is to the studio and look forward to supporting them as they remain independent and continue to grow. Like Bungie, our community is core to PlayStation's DNA, and our shared passion for the gamers and building the best place to play will now evolve even further. The biggest thing here, Scott, is we've seen Killzone die. Killzone is gone. When it comes to shooters, dude, they picked up one of the best in the industry. We always said, where's the PlayStation shooter? You've got Call of Duty? Well, that's a temporary hold now, right? So all of a sudden, Call of Duty's gone in 2024, give or take, right? You'll probably have Warzone remain, but you have the creator of Halo, an Xbox exclusive, now working in the realm of PlayStation. They can that shooting mechanic, Bungie knows how to make a first-person shooter. It is standout. It is incredible the way that gunplay feels. Even in Destiny, dude, that's a solid game. There's a reason why Nate's dropped like 2,000 hours into Destiny. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a reason why there is such a fan base. Now, some may argue that there's been some ups and downs with Bungie as of recently with their updated releases and system mechanic changes and all that stuff, but moving forward, I think PlayStation is just beginning to get into more and more studios. I've heard that they're not done purchasing studios yet. Bungie is just the beginning. So who's next? Dude, they picked up Insomniac not too long ago, right? They got Blue Point. They've got all these other studios coming in. Who do you pick up? Who's left, Scott, when it comes to the big AAAs, right? Who's left? You have Ubisoft. Dude, Ubisoft's not going to sell. That's not a chance. No. They just got out of they had a big court battle with Vivendi. No. Oh, man. They had a big court battle where this other parent company was trying to kind of hold them, right? And they were able to get away from that, which is great. The name's escaping me from now. You have EA. I don't see EA selling. Like, do you really think that'll happen?
Maybe you could piece buy DICE, but that's still unlikely.
Maybe, right? But at this point, do you really want to?
I think DICE's price probably went down a lot recently.
Oh man, right? You have Square Enix. Square Enix might be up in the realm, dude. All of a sudden, the Kingdom Hearts is a huge IP. It comes over there, and they do have the rights to Final Fantasy all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's certain.
I think it is. It's almost like they lean PlayStation already, because I think they do. 16 was supposed to be exclusive, if I remember. It's been so long since we heard about it now.
Yeah, no kidding. But no, that makes a good point, right? Like, who's left?
Oh, yeah. Brad says Neversoft.
Man, what have they done lately, though, Brad? Have you seen anything in the realm of Neversoft as of late? Like, I'm just trying to rack my brain because I'm going.
He says Vivendi.
It was
That's
Vivendi.
correct.
Okay, thanks. Man, it was blanking on me, but I was thinking it was them. But that's the biggest thing for me now is, okay, so Xbox purchases Activision. Everybody goes, Monopoly, Monopoly, Monopoly. Now we just lost Bungie to PlayStation. Like, dude, you're going to have two sides. And we had the big discussion on our Discord yesterday in the realm. And Sfinny McGee brought up, like, this might not be a good thing if all we have now are streaming services that we're leaning towards, right?
Yeah.
And
I worry about that being... I worry about it being the cable networkization. I'm not sure if there's a word for that, but it's it's what we see across already, movies and television. The way that everything's split, you've got so many different networks. It's almost like buying different packages of TV brand. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah. But I'm a little worried if video games get packed into that, because it's been beneficial in the case of Game Pass. I really believe it has been a step forward.
Sure.
But if everybody does that, well, then it becomes competitive pricing, and I don't know if that's good for the consumer.
Yeah. Neversoft is part of Activision. Laugh out loud. My bad.
I had thought so just because of the Tony Hawk series, but that's way back.
That was past, so right? far. Yeah, so long ago. But yeah, dude, a lot of questions going on. Yeah, if you thought this is a response to Xbox, this is not the response. This deal wasn't happening just because that happened 2 weeks ago. It wasn't just a, hey, crap, we got to go buy somebody. Here, let's throw some money at Bungie. That's been in discussion now for at least 6 months. I'm looking to see who's going to break the story on how long that's been in the works for. Like, leave it up to Steven Totillo or Jason Schreier or even Jeff Grubb. See if they can get in on that and find out, how long has that been in the works. But a lot of people are speculating yesterday that, oh man, this is a response to Xbox. No, it's not. It was it just happened to be coincidence on timing.
It may set off a chain of events from now on, but I wouldn't expect to hear anything about that for a couple months.
No, absolutely. Dude, what I want to hear about, but I don't think we're going to hear anytime soon, is what the Star Wars Eclipse is reportedly inspired by The Last of Us. This comes from Jordan Midland over at VGC. Yo, I am pumped. Dude, this is going The Last of Us version, man. I'm all in. Twitter user account NGT claimed this weekend that the Star Wars game will be an open world adventure that also features multiplayer. Really? Which is being worked on separately by Quantic Dream's Montreal team. We noticed as of late, Quantic Dream opened up a new studio over in Montreal not too long ago. The Quantic Dream Paris team is said to be working on cinematics, story, level art, and the game's engine. Dude, this is so early. The user also claimed the development on the project started in early 2021. Yeah, last year. And not all of Quantic Dream's Paris development team is working on it. Eclipse appears to still be extremely early, as it is claimed that the story is still being written, end quote. Oh, man. And the Montreal team is still working on gameplay prototypes, drawing inspiration from Naughty Dog's The Last of Us. In December, it was confirmed that Eclipse is set in the High Republic era. The game was announced during the Game Awards. Quote, Star Wars Eclipse is the first video game to be set in an uncharted region of the Outer Rim during the High Republic era, known as the Golden Age of the Jedi, end quote. That comes from Quantic Dream. Dude, I'm excited. Last of Us has a very unique style in itself. Everybody knows what The Last of Us is. Huge focus on storytelling, the storytelling mechanic behind that game, the feel of the world, the environment, the apocalyptic setting.
A huge amount of humanization too, and even when it comes just to the frantic nature of the gunplay.
Yeah, Brad puts zombies versus lightsabers. I hope not. let's not do that, right? Let's not do that.
I'm on it.
What was interesting to me, if you've played a Quantic Dream title before, Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, these are all story-heavy, decision-based titles, right? Like not one incorporated multiplayer. So how are they going for something completely different, Scott? Is my worry is we're going to get away from that Quantic Dream formula that we fell in love with and get into something a little bit more open and less story focused with decisions having consequences. Because, dude, every decision you made in those games had some kind of outcome. I remember playing Detroit Become Human. Dude, you talk to everybody. Your story was different than their story, and their story. And me and Steve were going back and forth. I'm like, dude, I did this. Oh man, I didn't even see that. I did this instead. What happened to your character? Oh, spoilers, mine died. It's like, no, man, what the, like, at the end of the game. And there's no wrong answer. I think that's the coolest part about these games, is that there's no wrong way to play the game. That's just the outcome of your story. If you haven't played Detroit Become Human, I'm telling you, go do that. There's so many different endings. The way the game unfolds and unravels and tells the story of an android trying to become a human and live their life is just phenomenal. It's one of the coolest stories I've experienced, but you know, it didn't end so well for me. Maybe it will for you.
I'm thinking of bringing that kind of storytelling, especially if the story's not complete yet. Maybe this is why. Maybe they're pulling in other companies to kind of, all right, so how can you kind of show this idea? Sure. And then they go through it, and if it doesn't work, well, okay, how about this? And I'm really excited because it is in the early stages of development, so there's lots of room for improvement to go and things to kind of change here and there. But I'm thinking of the Last of Us kind of gunplay, and if that makes its way into a Star Wars game, I'm super excited.
Here's the thing, dude, we're not going to see this till the end of the life cycle of PlayStation and Xbox. This next gen, that's when we're going to see this. They announced this so early, it blows my mind why they even bothered, because they're not even close. If you're still writing the story, you really don't have anything to show. You've created a cinematic trailer that looks absolutely stunning. Besides that, now you're going to go on a hiatus for 5, 6, 7 years? Really? Like, we've seen what happens to the games like Beyond Good and Evil 2, for example, or even Skull and Bones.
Is that one ever coming out?
Oh, exactly, right? That's my point. Here, let's reveal what we're working on. Sorry, we're still writing the story, so you're not going to see it for the next 6 years. That's you build
the only one I want to hear about that from is, well, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, or Metal Gear. Any of those, I want to know the moment that title gets written on a piece of paper. But other than those series, no, I don't want to know too often or too early. I mean,
it's definitely going to be a while before we see any of that happening. But dude, let's get into YouTube content creator hit with over 1,300 copyright claims from Nintendo.
How long does it take to even read those?
Oh man, can you imagine? Like, their whole YouTube page is just full of copyright. You can't make a dime. That's the problem. I'm surprised that that's the case. I'm honestly surprised that YouTube hasn't shut them down. Because you only get so many strikes, right? If you get hit with copyright after copyright, so this
and they're overactive at times.
And Nintendo, absolutely. We've had to dispute a few, and it's just the point, like, man, sometimes you just give up. Nintendo has a reputation for having a zero tolerance policy over apparent copyright infringement. As content creators will know, using game footage, music, or any other copyrighted material can land you in hot water with its legal department, even if your work is clearly fair use. However, even with that in mind, today's news still manages to be shocking. YouTuber Gilva Sunner has been hit with a staggering 1,300 takedown notices from the company, probably a record, if anyone is keeping track. The takedowns are all music tracks from various games, and this comes despite the videos not being monetized and Nintendo offering no official way to listen to these tracks. As spotted by My Nintendo News, Gilva Sunner is no stranger to Nintendo's copyright strikes. They first shared dozens of emails concerning the takedowns in 2019, and has since added to the thread whenever they're targeted by the legal team. Dude, when does Nintendo just go, hey, you know what you're doing? You're helping us. You're getting out-of-game exposure, right? Go ahead, Scott.
This is something that I've seen happen before, and I have to take this moment to say free Melee. Because there's just a weird situation. I can't get into the details of it, but there was people streaming in a charity event, and they were not making any money off of it. All of the money was going explicitly to charity, and they had paperwork to back this up. Nintendo came and said, well, you can't do that. That's our game, even though it's for a good cause. And they weren't making any money, so they said, okay, well, how about we pay you X amount of percent? Thanks, Nintendo. You are a big part of this idea. And they would not accept it. And I think
Yeah.
it was to the point where some of them were threatened with jail time. It got way out of hand, and I've had this argument with a couple of friends of mine. I don't believe Nintendo is a friendly company to their own consumers. And if you
No.
look at if you look at any message board, what you'll find is the people that are most angry about Nintendo are the fans.
The biggest thing, Scott, is when is Nintendo going to realize that us streaming your title is a good thing because you get more eyes on your title, especially if those who aren't really following, but yet, oh man, hey, look, that's a new Mario Kart game, not Mario Kart 8, it's another one, right? Or here's another Zelda experience, or here's something else to show off for Nintendo. Create that solid fan base, that love that we all grew up with, instead of penalizing us for creating content around your content to allow us to then showcase our love and passion for Nintendo, and don't penalize everybody because
they
of
monetize.
Just,
they already monetize our nostalgia so much that it seems unfair to penalize it after the fact. But
well, that's just it.
Neither of us sit in the boardroom. I don't know what their reasoning is, but it's hard to see from the outside.
Absolutely, and I'm curious because when you talk about PlayStation, talk about Xbox, man, they're so heavy into streaming their titles, right? Like, I'm gonna I'll leave it for now. We're streaming something here shortly, hopefully for PlayStation, and that's the biggest thing, right? Is that but they want us to do this.
Yeah.
So why doesn't Nintendo? Everybody else, like your top players are like, hey, stream our game. Have you watched a battle royale? Yo, stream that game. Apex, PUBG, Call of Duty, like they're all being streamed.
Think of the benefit. Okay, I like your example. New Mario Kart comes out. Yeah. If you get Ninja or FaZe or anyone that's huge names and you put it out there, think of the benefit to that. And if they did that, I think it should be on consent by Nintendo. But if they award that consent to a few streamers, that also gives them the credibility to say, okay, well, not you. We already have our guys for that.
Yeah, it's just... Dude, such a weird thing. We've been avoiding one topic I want to get to real quick here, Scott, and it is Mortal Kombat 12 has been leaked, potentially on purpose, by NetherRealm producer. What? This comes from David over at PSU. Mortal Kombat 12 or its existence should come of no surprise to any fighting game fan. Honestly, I'm surprised.
Yeah, this is actually the first thing I mentioned to you was, does this surprise anybody? There will be another Mortal Kombat game. Who would have guessed?
Well, I'm surprised in the fact that they've been alternating between Injustice and Mortal Kombat. One year you get Injustice, next year you get Mortal Kombat. We just had Mortal Kombat 11, so I wasn't expecting Mortal Kombat 12. That's what's going on right now. Now, however, it seemed to have been given confirmation that Mortal Kombat 12 exists and is being worked on at NetherRealms currently. We know that because a NetherRealm producer, Jonathan Anderson, has leaked it himself. In fact, it even could have been on purpose. So that's the biggest... Man, that's weird. Why would you leak your own game?
Yeah, that's not how it usually works.
Dude, Mortal Kombat 12 is like a big reveal. That's a big thing for a lot of people. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Maybe Nate will get his Ermac.
I was just thinking that. How many characters do you think they'll launch with? Yeah. Will it include the original that was made for the movie?
I don't know. But Scott, just like that, dude, we're out of time. What game do we have coming out for today?
That is game, sort of. The Life is Strange Remastered Collection is now available on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Series XS, Stadia, and PC. Happy to see Stadia on there.
Always loving to see Stadia over there. And that is going to wrap up today's show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. You can always join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube and Inside the Game Official. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, and that is Scott. We'll see everybody tomorrow inside the game.